You remember when it was September, love was changing my mind. September, while chasing the clouds away, singing in the key that's singing in the night. Remember the stars from night away.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. It is 6:33. Ronald, did you say you did a 72-hour fast? Good for you. Water, no iced coffee. Wow. I've been doing Monday fast for a lot of this year. I didn't do it yesterday, to be honest. It was Conrad's birthday. I had to take him to lunch. I'm not feeling great. But anyway, what up, Ken? What up, Blair? Blair, awesome email this morning. You woke up and put me in a good mood, which I feel good about. What up, Dylan? You want a T3 vest? Yeah. Very original, right? So the last few Christmases, I think we gave out vests. So I have two of them. So I figured, hey, let me wear a vest. We're doing an open house with the Alpha team, so I got to represent, right? Anyway, I am feeling a little bit better. I got a little tea. I still did the 20 to 5:20. I'll tell you, I feel a lot better. First of all, don't take NyQuil. My wife made me take NyQuil last night, and it didn't make me sleep any better. Only when I had to wake up and go to the bathroom, I had no idea where I was. So the only thing that made me feel better is waking up, doing the 20 to 5:20, making it really hot in the sauna, sweating it out, going to my ice barrel, and now here I am with a voice. So I'm going to try and limit it to a little bit of everything. So anyway, it is Tuesday. It is 6:35. It's holiday week. Spies are up a little bit. Yesterday was some nice follow through to to last Thursday, Friday. If you remember, last Thursday, Friday kind of set the table for this center move, and it's probably going to get a little slower. So if you have some swings on, just keep your stops and try not to overtrade it. If you can make a little bit of money and stack some more days, heading into Christmas, it's always a good feeling. If you're away on vacation and you have a few things on with some stops, that's cool too. But the last thing you want to do is overdo it when things aren't going on. I know guys that are beating their head against the wall trying to make money in Bitcoin because gold and silver are fantastic. And they're like, they hate life because all they keep doing is buying Bitcoin and Ethereum, thinking it's going to catch up to gold and silver. And meanwhile, it's not. The boomers are kicking Gen Z's ass. But anyway, we should make one of those Instagrams of that. So here's the Qs. Qs gave a really good move on Friday after, remember, the light PM, CPI kind of gave you a doji, and then it took it out and a little bit of follow through yesterday. The Qs right now are up 24 cents. Probably get an inside day. I don't think we go below 617. I don't think we go above 621.65. Yesterday the small caps were the place to be. Still not great, but it did get above this 252, which we spoke about. Gave you a trade. It held above it. You made 2-3 points. Plus, if you were in a lot of these small cap type names, you did just fine. Space names could definitely use a rest. This was yesterday. I do it so simple. IWM is tight, kind of get above and stay above 252 to get some traction. That was the language yesterday. Now, what I would do here, say, is, just so you see, like the language, IWM did get above 252 for a trade to, 255-ish. Now we see if it holds it. Like little things. Everyone tries to be so sophisticated with their analytics and what they say and how they say it. Yeah, Poet's doing very well. There's a lot of things doing well. So everyone was like, Red Dog, what about Tesla? Is it done? Did it put a Red Dog reversal top in? They got us again. I will say it was frustrating yesterday, and it wasn't easy. You did get a little bit of a topping tail. You did have ways to adjust on it. What do I mean by that? Well, I came in yesterday along the TSLL, and I came in long two different sets of calls. I didn't have actually Tesla stock because of the candle kind of got me out on Friday, but I had exposure there, pretty decent amount. So I did buy Tesla pre-market like 488. I added a 491. It got through 495. I then trimmed, I had some orders out there to trim some options. I trimmed some stock, and then I'm like, now I'm back to what I had overnight, and I feel comfortable. If we could hold 495-ish for a little bit, maybe it ramps. So what happened? It didn't hold 495, so it didn't get and stay above. So you had to reduce your momentum shares and just get back to what you're comfortable holding. It did play a little bit, and now we'll see what happens here today. 485.33 is yesterday's low. I'd like to see it rebuild and hold that, but I don't know if it were to get below that, chances are, it's still fine, right? It's still above the 8-day, which it's been above. It would just make it a little harder, a little less momentum. But I guess, just a thought. It just is what it is. It's friggin' Christmas week, and not a lot of institutions are around, and it's getting hard to find a lot of power out there. AST launches today. Let's hold our let's hope it goes well. ASTS is set up for higher prices. If the launch doesn't go well, chances are, some people will be trapped. But ultimately, ASTS has been absolutely fantastic. We had a really nice trade here. Some guys bought it on Friday. Look at that nice move. You get above the 8 and the 21 day. What do? You get long. You look for follow through. Hey, there's your follow through. What's it called? Sam Stevens says, I listened to Stokes on Spaces. It was cool to see you all discussing Teslas that broke the prior day high. Anyway, Poet, yes. I told you guys, a lot of you guys were on me, all over me when, I was buying, the dip in this Poet. This is a stock for next year. You could accumulate it or you could trade it based on, whether or not small caps are in play. And I know a bunch of us, we're buying it at 7.25 because of two big institutions. And PS, if you accumulated it, there was a red dog reversal here to add to it. And now it's moving well, but I just be careful in your pricing. These names could be tricky, but I do think that this thing could be, 20 plus next year. So keep it on the radar. There are a bunch of names that are concept names that you need to accumulate and give it time or wait for it to trade well. Pony, I haven't looked at Pony in a while. Pony is starting to go. All right. For a Chinese name. Last time we played Pony was right here. It's a really good trade. It was tight. Bull flag, got above this channel. There's room there. It's in the right area, right? AI, autonomous driving, this and that. I bought more XPEV. Some people are like, why am I in XPEV? There was a lot of good news and a lot of really cool products, and a lot of in XPEV. The stock had a move to to 28 and then just got killed with all the Chinese names. I think this is something to do a little bit of homework on. I think it could have a good move next year, better than NEO. But that's the Chinese names I don't even want to talk about. JLBY, I would have liked to hold in a little bit better. I think it's going to need some time to build. I was buying it on Friday. I did add to it, traded around it yesterday. Now, what's this? I'd like to see it hold. Doesn't have to hold hold 1440-ish, go sideways, and then at some point, I'll let it take out this descending channel here. Can't be perfect. Sometimes you could buy it in the channel, and then sometimes there's a nice move here. So I'd like to see what's this low here. This is 14. Yeah, I wouldn't want to see it get much below 1440. Then I'd have to take some of my size down. I'd love to see it go sideways, and then at some point, even buy more. I want to buy more, but you want to buy more when it pays you to buy more. Look at my UMAC from yesterday. This was a great trade. Kind of anticipated it. This was a power play. Bought it, like 9.25, and we sold it yesterday above 11. Just a third. I'm going to hold some. Anyway, there's a lot of things like this happening. Plab, that was a guy from Spaces. You could be long Plab versus this big gap. So this is what, 31? So I have this whole concept where you could buy versus a pro earnings gap and put a swing on, and here it is. So if you want to be long versus 31, it just turned up. Your risk is defined. You might be catching a good middle where it works back towards the highs. The earnings were good. The conference call was good. So semis are decent. So this Plab is something you could be long versus 31. Kind of the same thing as Path. Remember Path? Had a big move. We made a lot of money on 14 to 19. It came in. It just tested 1580. You could be long versus 1580. That's your stop. And hey, maybe it works back towards highs, and let the market make you money. Keep your stop there. Don't count the money whether the trade changes or not. My outlook report should be coming out in the next few days. Yes, it is. Solar, which I'm not really good at, ignited yesterday, CSIQ. Nice little push. Maybe he needs time. Maybe there's follow through. I went with FSLR. Some of the guys in the open house had a nice day trade with me. I'm still in some. I took some. This is a nice little move here. It was up more last night. It'd be nice if it holds the majority of it and goes. Solo names to me are tough to trade, but I'm in it also. Someone said Rivian. What about Rivian? Oh, wow. Ha, I didn't even see that. That's a nice friggin' move. Holy cow. I gave it to a lot of my Short Hills friends because a few of them have Rivians. What a move. Congratulations. Last time I really charted it was at 1530. Nice move. Yeah, gold and silver are absolutely crazy. Congratulations if you're in gold. I took off the gold power play yesterday just because I felt like I wanted guys to feel good. So don't feel bad that it's up more. We bought the gold power play literally down here for this Friday. Bought the 391s when it was trading right around here. So we got rid of our last piece up there. What a huge winner. Gold right now is doing what? Up another 4. Definitely trim and trail. Wow. What silver doing is up again also. Geez, look at you guys. Metalheads. It's all right though. Anyway, what would I do with silver? I would be trimming. I bet you today's a day too where, like, if you want to be cute, look where the 8 day is. You can move this up. This high here is what? This is 62.82. I can make you guys a small little bet. Remember when we were here last week when I told you guys you could be buying ASTS to go from red to green and put on a swing. This was last week in the 630 Club. This is why a lot of you guys are subscribing to Red Dog Mindset, because you want a 630 Club on Fridays. I only do Monday through Thursdays, and if you want 630 Club on Fridays next year, subscribe to Red Dog Mindset so you can be grandfathered in. And if you don't subscribe, there might be a time where you might even lose some access, but I'm not saying that's going to happen. It could. But anyway, if you're a T3 subscriber, you're never going to lose access to it. But if you're not, and you want the 630 Club, at least on Fridays, additionally, subscribe above. But remember on ASTS, it was this day, I think, I don't remember exactly what day, but somewhere around here, I'm like, you could be buying it to go red to green for a swing versus 6140. And it's been a nice move. But anyway, I give you guys ideas every single day, and it's up to you to execute on them. So let's go back to silver. So silver, where's silver this morning? Up another 65 cents. If someone had eggnog to my throat to make me drink it, do I think silver is going to be, SLV will be up $1.50 or go red at some point today? I would say go red at some point today. So maybe you can make some shekels by shorting it versus a level, but shorting silver has not worked. But I do think you do not buy silver today. You missed it. You missed it. This is when we were buying a lot of silver. This is when I made a lot of money in silver. Right here, this was the great setup. Finally went sideways for like a good 6 weeks, and then we bought the 49 halves and then rolled them into the 54s. And you should not be buying silver today. Does the market slow? It already feels like it's slow. And to be honest, I'm here to hang out with the open house, to try and manage some of my swing trades, try and stack some days. I'm in town. My son plays basketball, so the basketball team's really not allowed to go away, which is fine. I like being here. I got my tea. I got my iced coffee. I got all of you. I did my workout already today. And I'm going to do my charts. Maybe I'll do a few less charts. And just going to try and stack some days. Andrew asked me to look at WSM. WSM, sure. Williams-Sonoma. It's a good brand. Very tight. That looks pretty good. Little downtrend right there. I like it. I don't know if retail is going to, do okay, but this does look pretty good, pretty tight. That's a good idea. I like the way that looks. Talking about retail, Amazon, what an annoying name. It looked so good yesterday in the last half hour of the day, and then it came in $1. It's fine. I still think you can get to 232 this week if we hang around, but these mega cap tech names are not. You got to really be careful on the prices you pay. I think it's good, and I'm in it. I'm in shares. I'm in options. It's Tuesday, and we're kind of running out of time. If you really think it's going to go, you might as well wait till January 16th or something. CYBN, um, yeah, it's hanging in there. Not a barn burner. MSOS is kind of annoying, to be honest. I had a lot of it, and then I did sell probably 75% of it into this part of the move, and I started buying it back a little bit into this 480, and yesterday was down a bunch. So I'm buying some options for March, just in case it gets more legislation, it gets safe banking bill. People just hate this sector, and there's probably still some tax law selling, I guess. But either way, I'm going to give it a little bit more room. I'm just going to, I made a lot of money here the first time when remember I told you about Mike Tyson and Kevin Durant all busting Trump's, busting his chops to decriminalize it, which gave us that first move. I made a lot of money. Then I'm like, I'm done with it. I didn't buy into this, and then that happened. So I'm kind of buying into this for one more move in the first quarter. Give it some time. But ultimately, it's no one really trusts this sector. APP, wow, AppLovin looking right. It's ready to make new highs. Looks great. I haven't played this in a while, to be honest. It's a little loose and wide. I was really active in it here, and then back over here. I haven't been looking at it. I've been a little too active, I guess, in Tesla. Someone asked me about this NN. Can I go over the story about NN? I don't really know the story that well. All I know is it's got a really nice chart. It's been under accumulation between 10 and 16 now since almost a year. Supposedly they're supposed to get like part of a spectrum deal or something going on. It has to do with space and this and that. And so I'm long it. And I do think at some point it's going to take out this 1670. And a lot of big money guys think it's going to be 25 plus next year. Up to you. Do your homework. It looks great technically. Under accumulation. There's a story behind it. This is a present from Red Dog to any of you guys. But at some point when it's 22 next year, we're in the 630 club, and I'm like, remember when this thing was 17? Now it's 25. Anyway, that's what I'm here to do. QS has been a nothing. Broken name, broke right here. It was great for a while, and then once they break the 21 day, they need to be rebuilding, and not everything rebuilds the same way. This broke here, was great for a little while, great from here, and then broke, and now you could be long versus whatever this is, but it's not really, where the action is. What stocks would you play with Trump building battleships? I don't know. Is he using copper? Because copper looks great. FCX. Wow, look at that. I don't know. Why don't you do some research and tell me? Palantir? Well, a little topping tail yesterday. It's been a great trade. Doesn't mean it's over, but a little annoying. Would have been nice if it had some power yesterday, but nothing really had power. You had to be in on Thursday when it was setting up, and there's your breakout Friday. So if you were trying to be cute and get a gap fill, you had to be real careful there. Doesn't mean it's over. It just means it's a little extended, a little topping tail. You had to reduce your size. RDW is just in that drone space. Nice little push. Has some room to the 200 days. So a lot of little things going on. So you got to figure out how busy and how active do you want to be. I'm trying to massage some swing trades. I don't know how a lot more people are leaving for vacation. I know that, Chase had a basketball game yesterday, and 4 more guys are leaving on early flights today to go away for Christmas. The old market guys. I'm the only grinder here. Rise and grind. Red Dog's rising and grinding and doing my thing. I'm losing what's a shipbuilder? It says Emprion HII. HII. All right, well, that's a nice chart. It's going well too. Hard to buy now, but 2 big days. A lot of pays to be a stock picker. You could be playing the indices and doing well, stock picking and doing well. Roku, I looked at it the other day. That still looks pretty good too. It's got a high level flag. You could be long versus, 106. I'm not sure what the narrative is here, but it looks pretty decent. A lot of people are trying to play a breakout here in Roku. Not me. A little sloppy. But if you want to put your stop in at 106. If it breaks that, trade changes, holds this, goes sideways, maybe there's more. Meta, it's fine. Meta's kind of like an Amazon where you get a few little trades here and there. It's not a leader. It's not showing power. You have to be careful with prices. It's better to be long versus a position than add to the position. My best trade in Meta this year really was right here. That was my best trade. 602 gave us a trade like 24 points. Anyway, all right, guys. FJet. Yeah, you could either be trading and managing and massaging a Meta or an Amazon or a Tesla or some of those names, or you could be trading FJet. And this thing took out this high, took out that high, and wow, what's it doing this morning? You get any follow through? I hope you are if you're in it. Nope. Down 6. So, and it closed on the highs. That kind of sucks, but that's what happens with these type of names. So you got to be a bit careful when you're playing them. There's easy money out there, but there's a fine line between making a little and making a lot and losing a little and losing a lot. So I like to trade stocks that I can control and have liquidity and kind of know how it moves. But yeah, listen, if you took the trade yesterday, you made a lot of money. There were price points here and here, but it would have been, yeah, it kind of sucks if you're looking for follow through. Anyway, Lilly, yes, Lilly is looking good too. Lilly, a lot of guys made a lot of money right here. Time and place always. Broke 778, rebuilt, took out 860. When as high as there, you could have bought a nice pullback, and a lot of money's rotating still to biotechs for next year. It's down 10 this morning because there's some news that someone else got approval for, I guess, something competitive. So 1062, where's that? So see if it holds the 8-day. That's 1054. 10 points for Lilly is not a lot. It's just kind of annoying if you're in it. So see if it holds the 8-day here. If it doesn't, then you have the 21-day there. If you trade Lilly, it's definitely it could reward you, but it's loose and wide. Lilly's loose and wide. Snap, my goodness, the worst stock in the world. I have options on it. I was thinking that, hey, maybe look at that's not Snap. This is SAP, by the way. So this looks pretty good. Little descending channel here. SAP. I didn't mean that. My end is a little sticky. Snap. Woke up a little bit. Hey, maybe it gets to the 200-day. They had decent earnings last time, and they still sold it. They always sell this stock. Meanwhile, my son's on Snap. So many kids are on Snap. I have some $8 calls for Friday. It'd be nice if we can get up to here, but we'll see. Ultimately, it's not a focus. Snap should not be a focus. And Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, it's just not where the action is. Look at it. Rejected at the 21-day. Now it's down a little bit. But as long as it's not a headwind, it's not going to, be, as long as it's not making lower lows, it's not a problem for the market. I think people are getting used to the fact that it's just out of play, and it's just, you don't see Tom Lee on TV every day talking about 200,000. Thank goodness. What up, Richard? All right, guys, I got to jump. Appreciate you. I will be in tomorrow, even though it's a half day for Christmas Eve. And it'll be, if you want to hang out today in the open house, I'm hoping there's some things that happen that we can make some money with. If not, make sure you're enjoying yourself. It's holiday time. Every day above ground's a good day. So make sure you appreciate, what's underneath your feet. And if you don't like what's underneath your feet, you better move those feet because you only live once. I'll see you guys later.